You think the greatest threat to your life is failure. You believe it is some enemy, some rival, someone standing in your way. You have been told to fear the big disasters, the crash, the loss, the catastrophe. But I am here to tell you, you are wrong. The force most likely to destroy your life will never announce itself. It has no face. It makes no sound. It works so quietly that you can spend 30 years under its control and swear the entire time that you are free. Napoleon Hill wrote a book so unsettling that his own family refused to let the world see it. He finished the manuscript in the depths of the Great Depression, and it stayed locked away for more than 70 years, until long after everyone involved was gone. In it, Hill claimed to have done something no author had dared. He put the devil himself in the interrogation chair and forced out a confession. Whether you read that interview as literal or as the most brilliant portrait of human self-destruction ever written, the confession itself does not change. The devil named his method, one habit, one word, and by the end of this, you will know that word. You will know whether it already has you, and you will know the only known way out. Let me tell you why this book frightened the people closest to Hill. By the time he wrote it, Hill had spent decades studying the most successful people alive. But this book asked the opposite question. Not what makes the rare person rise. What keeps everyone else down? And the answer he arrived at was so uncomfortable that his wife, and later his family, believed it should never be published, because the book does not blame the economy. It does not blame luck or class or circumstance. It points the finger somewhere far more disturbing, at a silent agreement each person makes with their own destruction. Hill framed it as an interview. He drags his subject, whom he calls the devil, into the light and compels him to answer honestly. And the devil, in Hill's telling, is almost bored by how easy his work is. He explains that he does not need possession. He does not need dramatic evil. He controls, by his own count, 98 out of every 100 human beings, using a single instrument so gentle that his victims defend it. They call it being flexible. They call it keeping their options open. They call it going with the flow. He calls it drifting. Here is how the devil describes a drifter, and I want you to notice how familiar this feels. A drifter is a person who lets life happen to them. They think without purpose. They work without a plan. They accept whatever wage, whatever relationship, whatever mood, whatever opinion arrives, the way an open field accepts whatever walks across it. Ask a drifter what they want from life and watch their eyes. There is no answer, because no answer was ever chosen. And here is the genius of the method. Drifting requires nothing, no decision, no effort, no moment of surrender you could point to and resist. You do not choose to drift. You simply fail to choose anything else. It is the default state of the human mind, the direction the current already flows. Which means the devil's whole strategy is simply this. Keep the mind undecided. Keep it comfortable. Keep it entertained, distracted, vaguely busy, and mildly afraid. Do that, and the person will deliver themselves, one ordinary day at a time, without ever noticing the delivery is happening. Hill asked the devil which people he could never control. The answer came without hesitation. The 2% who know what they want. The ones with definitiveness of purpose. The devil admitted, plainly, that a person with a definite aim and the discipline to pursue it is beyond his reach entirely. He cannot steer a mind that is already steered. Stay with me, because the confession gets worse. The devil explained exactly how the trap is built. Drifting is the method, but every method needs tools, and the devil named his favorites. The first is fear, not terror. Terror wakes people up. He prefers the low, constant, background fears. The fear of poverty that makes you cling to work you hate. The fear of criticism that makes you dress your dreams down before anyone can mock them. The fear of what people will say, which has quietly killed more ambitions than failure ever has. Each fear does not stop you from moving. It does something better. It makes you afraid to decide, and an undecided mind is a drifting mind. The second tool is procrastination, and the devil is honest about why he loves it. Procrastination never says no to your dreams. Saying no would trigger a fight. Instead, it says the one word no one resists. Later. Start the business later. Have the conversation later. Change your life later, when things settle down, when the timing is better, when you feel ready. And here is the arithmetic no drifter ever does. Later is not a time. Later does not exist on any calendar. A person who says later is saying never, in a dialect that lets them keep their self-respect. Fear keeps you from deciding. Procrastination keeps you from starting. Together they hold a life perfectly still while it appears from the inside to be simply waiting for the right moment. The right moment is the bait. Stillness is the trap. Now comes the part of the confession that should genuinely unsettle you. Because drifting, on its own, would only be a bad season. Something else turns it into a life sentence. Hill's devil calls it hypnotic rhythm. It is the law by which nature makes anything permanent. Repeat a thought, a habit, an emotion long enough, and the repetition hardens. What began as a choice becomes a tendency. The tendency becomes a pattern. And the pattern, past a certain point, becomes something the devil describes with terrifying simplicity. It becomes who you are. You have watched this law work. The complainer who, after enough years, cannot form a sentence without grievance in it. The cynic who once was merely disappointed and is now incapable of hope. Nobody chose those destinations. They repeated their way there, one unremarkable day at a time, until the rhythm took over and the choosing stopped. And here is the crucial detail. Hypnotic rhythm is neutral. It does not care what it makes permanent. Feed it discipline, and it will harden discipline into character. Feed it drifting, and it will harden drifting into destiny. The same law that imprisons the 98% is the one that makes the 2% unstoppable. The law never changes, only what you feed it. So now the question you have been asking since this began: Am I one of them? Am I drifting? Here are the signs, drawn straight from the confession. Listen honestly. 1. You cannot state your main purpose in life in a single clear sentence. 2. Your days are decided by whatever arrives, the inbox, the feed, other people's emergencies. 3. You use the word someday and feel comforted by it. 4. You have opinions about everything and plans for almost nothing. 5. You feel a low, constant busyness, yet at the end of the year you cannot name what actually moved. 6. You wait to feel ready and have been waiting for years. 7. When you imagine changing your life, the first voice you hear lists the reasons you cannot. If several of those landed, understand what it means and what it does not. It does not mean you are weak or lazy or broken. It means you are human, running the default program exactly as the 98% do. The devil's confession was never meant as an insult. It was meant as a diagnosis. And a diagnosis is a gift because you cannot fight what you cannot see. Most people live and die inside the drift without ever once catching it in the light. You just did. Which brings us to the only part of the interview where the devil sounds genuinely uneasy. Hill pressed him for the antidote, and the devil surrendered it. Definiteness of purpose. One decided aim, held in a mind that has closed the exits. That is the entire cure. Not motivation, which fades by Thursday. Not intensity, which burns out. A decision made once and then defended daily. So here is the practice. Exactly. Tonight, write one sentence. What you are building, by when, and what you will pay in effort to get it. Imperfect is fine. A flawed decision beats a perfect drift, because a decided mind can correct its course, and a drifting mind has no course to correct. Then tomorrow, and every day after, give that aim the first hour, before the phone, before the noise, before anyone else can spend your mind for you. 1 hour of definite action, daily, and you have done something enormous. You have taken the law of hypnotic rhythm out of the devil's hands and put it in yours. Every repeated day of purpose is hardening into pattern. The same force that was cementing your drift begins cementing your direction. And when fear whispers wait and procrastination offers later, you will recognize the voices now. You have read the confession. You know the tools when you hear them. A trap only works in the dark. So here is the confession, complete. No pitchfork, no possession, just a quiet current called drifting, powered by small fears, protected by the word later, and made permanent by rhythm. 98 out of 100, controlled by nothing more than their own indecision. And the way out was never hidden. Decide. Write the aim tonight. Give it the first hour tomorrow. Hold the line while the rhythm slowly changes sides. That is the whole war, fought in ordinary days, won by the simple refusal to remain undecided. The devil's power ends at the border of a made-up mind. If this found you drifting, subscribe, because there is a new lesson from Napoleon Hill's philosophy here every Tuesday and Friday, and the next one arms you further. 98 drift. 2 decide. Tonight, you choose your number.